Welcome back, my legends, and today I'm making a tier list because I've seen a lot of Apex people make their own tier list about who's the strongest, who's the funnest to use, what's the best gun, but I haven't seen anybody make a tier list about something lore related. So today I'm gonna make a tier list about who is the strongest legend lore wise, and I'll give you all the facts and details, and let's begin. Now, first person we're going to start is Givi. Now, Givi is going to be the foundation for this tier list because here's the thing. Givi kind of proves that in the Apex games, you don't necessarily have to be somebody like Forge. You can be somebody like Givi who's dummy thick and weighs about 292 pounds of pure thickness and is 6'5". So you would think in the games, being tall and not that fast is a huge disadvantage. But no, what matters more about it in the games is not about your physical condition, but more about your abilities and the little things that make you special. So for Givi, his abilities are very unique and diverse. And here's why. Because Givi can be both a supportive player and an offensive player, and sometimes he can do both at the exact same time. Not only that, because Givi now, when you're in Givi's shield, when you put on your medkits and your shields, it takes about 25% less time. Not only that, Givi can also pick you up in 4 seconds under his dome. So he's a really diverse player. He can be both offense and defense. And just to show you how good Givi is, we do know is that Givi once defeated Pathfinder. In fact, he thought Pathfinder was a goner that one time he defeated him. And here's the thing that's so impressive about that, because gameplay wise and canon wise, as we saw in the Boy Walker trailer, Raze can use her powers, her abilities right away. Well, of course, it does take her some time to use her portal, but when she's going to the void, she can use it rapidly. So this is what tells me is that Pathfinder can use his grapple right away and not in, a cooldown of 35 seconds, but gameplay reasons they have to do that. So canon wise, the fact that Givi was able to defeat Pathfinder once, in fact, he even thought he was a goner. So this goes to show you how much of a tank Givi is. In fact, his little bubble shield that protects him for 50 damage, he can take a Craver shot and not hurt him at all. He is a beast gameplay wise and lore wise. You do not want to face him. He may look like an easy target, but he's an actual tank, and because of that reason, he is an A tier lore wise in the strongest legends. The next person we're going to talk about is Rafe. Now, Rafe is the only person that's a confirmed pilot. She's a senior science pilot, if I remember correctly.
Senior science pilot Renee Blasi, first report. The grant to test our new phase shift tech has been approved by the IMC's Ares division.
And people have argued if she could use Titan now. So regardless of that reason, already she should be a high tier just because she was able to become a pilot. And the fact that she was able to join the Apex games means that even though she did lose her memory, she still has her skills. So here's the thing about Rafe that we know. Rafe pretty much is an A tier character. I'm gonna say that right away because what her abilities are very impressive, because I said before that, hey, your height and weight don't matter, but oh my god, if you guys ever face a Rafe in a game, you can clearly tell how sometimes it's annoying to hit her. And here's the thing, lore wise, she can use her tactical multiple times in a row. So just imagine this if you're a competitor, right? Imagine you see Rafe and you aim at her. She gets a warning that, hey, behind you.
They're aiming right at you. Your position is compromised.
Her thing in her head tells her where you are, that you're aiming at her, so you can't really catch her by surprise. And then when you're trying to run away, you're kind of screwed if she has a better armor and weapon than you, because she can hunt you down. And it doesn't matter where you hide because she knows where you'll be at all times.
Contact. Tangos.
So just Raze's ability to be able to get a warning puts her in a high tier. But that we haven't even discussed her tactical, where she goes in the void for a few seconds if she wants, just to avoid bullets. This thing is OP. Now, of course, there has to be some kind of cooldown because we did see Boy Walker Rafe get hit eventually. But the fact that she's able to use this multiple times to dodge bullets is just an insane ability. In fact, I would go as far as to say is that Rafe is pretty much the strongest 1v1 character you can go up against, not counting the person who I have as the highest person on this list that we'll talk about later. Now, Raze's portal ability is crazy because this thing is basically like a shortcut where your teammates can use this to get out of a jam. Not only that, but we saw that when she goes inside her portal, she goes like in this dimensional shift void where she can go into a different dimension if she wanted to. Now, some people are going to wonder how come Rafe is not an S tier with with all these abilities? Well, because we've seen that she can make mistakes. Like in one of the cinematics, we know that Rafe was beaten by Bangalore, even with all her warning systems. Now, we don't know if this is when Rafe was just beginning to, understand how to use her powers and listen to herself, but she can clearly make mistakes. Boywalker made a mistake and got shot, so she's not invincible at all. But here's the thing, unlike Givi, who can never be an S tier, because if you want to be an S tier, you have to be willing to take lives, and Givi would never do that. He'll beat you where you can't compete anymore, but he won't take a life.
Just as soon see me dead, but I'm not like you. I'll never be like you.
Unless it's 100% necessary. So for that reason, Givi can never be S tier unless he's willing to take lives, because it's more complicated to try to injure somebody where they can no longer compete than just taking a life. Now, Rafe is willing to take lives, but the thing about her is that sometimes her emotions get in the way. We saw that with Boywalker when she saw Dr. Singh's, and she basically ignored everything her head said and just straight went for him and almost cost the entire mission. Now, Rafe also did lose to Bangalore, so what this tells me is that some legends may be able to deal with Rafe, but if she can just fix those few problems, she's going to be an easy S tier. But for now, because of what's happening with the story right now, I'll say she's a solid A. Next up is Bangalore. Now this one is gonna be very controversial, but I'ma put Bangalore at B tier. Now some of you are going to scream saying, but you just admitted that Bangalore beat Rafe and she's an A tier. Wouldn't that make Bangalore in A tier too? Now here's the thing about Bangalore. Bangalore is a former IMC soldier. In fact, she's a weapon expert.
Didn't expect a thief to spread the wealth.
You know how to use it, I assume. You are the expert.
Meaning that any weapon she has in her hands, she's basically like a pro. So unlike all the other legends, any weapon you give to her, she is deadly. So if she grabs like a P2020 in the beginning of a game and you have a P2022, more than likely she's going to win that gunfight, unless it's up against another legend where those legends are probably going to be familiar with all the weapons at least. Some of them are going to be better than others, but Bangalore for sure is going to be basically an expert on any weapon. But here's the thing about her. Bangalore is borderline A tier. Like if there was a rating system, Bangalore would be like overall 89. So Bangalore is just shy from being at A tier, and this is the thing that's holding her back. Her ultimate. Remember guys, abilities wise matter a lot more in the Apex games than physical conditions and being a weapons expert. I mean, yeah, it's helpful against people who are not legends, but against legends, it's kind of a slight advantage, but your ability should be the X factor difference. But Bangalore's ultimate is just so slow. Like I haven't seen any animation where her rockets just come down and they just explode right away. Now if that was the case canon wise, then she is an A tier expert, but for now, because her ultimate takes a while to come down, and honestly anybody can dodge it because it takes time for her rockets to come down, and then once they come down they explode at a certain order, and honestly they don't do that much damage. Now canon wise maybe they do a lot of damage, but it takes a while for them to explode, and even Octane with no legs can easily dodge her ultimate. So to me, because of this reason and because abilities matter a lot more in the games, because of that she is a solid B tier. She's borderline A tier because all her other abilities are good. The fact that she can, when she's being hit, she has an extra boost ability. The fact that she can use her smokes for reviving players and getting position on them, it's really deadly. She has a deadly combo where if she has a threat detector with an R99 with her smokes, it's very deadly. But her ultimate is a big factor on this, and because everything's based on abilities lore wise, because of that reason she is a solid B tier. She's borderline A tier, but if we see that in the future her ultimate does explode right away, or it doesn't take as long as time as we can see in the gameplay, then she is an A tier. But for now I'll put her at a high B tier. Well guys, it looks like I have to make a part 2 because I just finished the other legend I was going to talk about, but I'm over 15 minutes right now. I overly explained again about each legend, so I don't know if you guys just want me to get to the point and just say, okay, this legend goes here because of this, and just end this all in part 2, or you guys want me to explain with a little bit of more detail what's going on. So I don't want to burden myself with a lot of editing, so I'm gonna end it right here and make a part 2. Let me know if you guys just want a straight up who goes where, or if you want a little bit more of a detailed video where I can explain why. But that means it'll probably be a third part because I have a lot to explain about each legend. So let me know, and I'll see you all next time. Peace.
with an unwavering tone. I'll keep on repenting for that night so long ago. Though your hands disappear, I'll still find the place where you are here. So go